The flood of undocumented children coming over the nation's southern border has reached crisis levels, with nearly 60,000 kids from Central America arriving here illegally since last fall. Now, some of these children could be coming to Wisconsin, to Madison or Milwaukee, or perhaps northeast Wisconsin. The federal government has asked Catholic Charities in Milwaukee to look for space to temporarily house some of the minors. We're joined now by Father David Bergner, the Executive Director of Catholic Charities. Father, thanks very much for being with us today.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you and to know of your interest in this issue.
What has the federal government told you to do and to expect?
They basically asked me to scope out some facilities in southeastern Wisconsin or in the state of Wisconsin for the possibility of being able to house unaccompanied minors from Central America. So we're very proactive in that, working very closely with FEMA. We have a long history of working with FEMA when it comes to natural disaster relief. So it was a natural partnership for us to be able to ask folks, can you spare a building or two? And as a matter of fact, I got the commitment, initial commitment for these buildings within a day or so of the request.
And these buildings are where, Father?
There are two buildings, two vacant or near vacant schools, one in the city of Milwaukee, the other in a suburb, and then we also have identified a office building in northeastern Wisconsin. So we're ready to go if asked. And again, it's if. This is a federal initiative, and we're a partner with them. So we look to their leadership.
How many children have they told you could be coming to Wisconsin?
They would like us to take as many as we could, and the numbers given me were between 100 and 300. And I said, you know, I think 100 would be more realistic for us, given the fact that, you know, we'll also be needing, with the help of Health and Human Services, to staff these facilities, and we want to do it as appropriately as possible, given the needs of the youngsters.
And I want to make this clear. This is for processing purposes. This is not for a permanent residency. How long might they be in the country should they come to this state?
What we were told is that we would need to house them for around 120 days, and they felt that the children could be adequately processed by that time. And one of the reasons Milwaukee was chosen, or Wisconsin, is our proximity to the immigration court in Chicago, which would be, you know, a relatively short commute in the world of getting around.
As you know, Father, this is a somewhat controversial issue. There are people who feel that this country has made it too easy for children to cross the border, that our policies aren't tough enough. What kind of feedback have you been getting from people in this area who've learned that you may work with the government to help house these children?
I think the reaction has been split pretty much down the middle. We have a group of people, wonderful people, who call and volunteer their services. These are lawyers, doctors, nurses, teachers, people who have served in Central America. And then we have another, I'd say, 50% who are questioning why we're doing this. We haven't gotten a great deal of hostility, and nor would I expect that from our citizenry here in southeastern Wisconsin. But we have a lot of questioning individuals, and I think they have a right to question this initiative.
Well, what are the questions they're asking?
Well, they're saying, you know, we have so many needs right here. What about children right here in Milwaukee? And I'm saying that's a valid concern, but we have services and resources. My organization, for instance, just last year served over 27,000 people here in southeastern Wisconsin, and there's other wonderful organizations doing the same. We are just extending what we believe is the mission of the church and the mission of Catholic Charities, to welcome the stranger and to serve the most vulnerable. And who can be any more vulnerable than these children from Central America?
So for now, Father, you're just pretty much on standby. You've located these potential places of residence, temporary residence, and you're waiting for word from the federal government.
That's right. We're in a standby mode. And we've also been asked to pre-position staff who are bilingual, and some from Central America originally, to assist with the staffing. I think a lot depends on the appropriation from Congress in terms of having the money to do it.
Father, we appreciate your time. Thanks very much for being with us today.
Pleasure being with you, Mike.
You bet. Coming up next, a homegrown Wisconsin company caught in the campaign crossfire.